Hey everybody, this is Brad with Asphalt Sealcoating Direct. I've got Phil and I've got Curtis here, business partners, and we're going to be talking about Alligator asphalt and the proper way to repair it. We're actually going to be showing you here today on the preparation and the application for the Alligator area, and we're going to show you how to apply tack coat and Alligator asphalt. And I want to explain when it's too late. I get a lot of questions from customers when it's too late. You know, when is it beyond repair? And we're going to be talking about that. So we're going to go step by step through this and help you guys understand the importance of tacking and preparation and then the proper application. Curtis, we're looking at what is a pothole here, but I'd like to explain to our viewers, when is it too late to use the Big A Alligator asphalt patch, and when is it not too late? What are we looking at?
Brad, what we're looking at is a pothole, and what this is this is the substrate or the base that is laid underneath the asphalt. And you can see here kind of a cutaway view that this is shot. It's gone. It's totally degraded. So what's not repairable is these islands over here that are completely broke loose and they're no longer fastened.
Okay, so it's pretty, I mean, it's pretty evident that this is really unrepairable short of cutting this out and putting hot applied asphalt back in its place.
Correct. That would be the best repair for this condition.
Even though it's a lot more expensive, it's going to be better off because, you know, a patch. Okay, awesome.
There's no patch or repair that you can do here that's going to last more than a month.
Short of cutting it out with a saw and using an infrared patcher.
That's correct.
We've chosen a spot that is repairable on the asphalt, and Kurt's going to start with the process of the proper way of applying the tack coat. So Kurt, what are we doing first here?
Well, Brad, we know this is gated up pretty good, and we're going to clean some of the rough sand off of the top, and you'll be able to identify the gated area much better. You can start to see where the gatoring is at. Now you might note that this asphalt looks pretty white, and that is just a sign of oxidation. It doesn't hurt the asphalt at all. It's a surface condition.
Okay, so oxidation, does it require special attention?
I wouldn't call it special attention, but it really should be primered or tack coated regardless of what treatment you're going to perform, whether it's gator patch area or crack filling or even seal coating.
Okay, and any kind of special tools here that they need to is this a special broom, or can they use any old broom around?
This is just a regular old push broom, nothing fancy about it. It's not special brushes, it just came out of my garage.
Okay. Is this area considered clean enough to go ahead and apply tack coat to?
So far, no, this is not clean enough. Really what you need to do is get all of the dirt that you can out from between the islands and the cracks. And I mean, it's a time-consuming deal. It's just something.
So they can just use a screwdriver if that's all they have around to do that?
You know, if the cracks are big enough, you can use a screwdriver. But like these cracks, for example, they're pretty thin. So it's going to be kind of difficult to get a screwdriver down in there. Now, if you got like a high-pressure water hose or something, you can do that. The thing that you got to note about the water hose, you got to give it time to dry. You know, so you may want to prep it a day before you put the tack coat down, because you want the water underneath to evaporate and get out from underneath there. If you got like a leaf blower, then you kind of clean it out with a screwdriver, and then come back with a leaf blower, you know, and try to get all of that dirt out of there as much as you can.
Okay. Curtis, let's talk a little bit about the tools that we're going to need to do this job, and where they're going to have to get them at, and the importance of each tool.
Well, Brad, what we're doing today is an alligator patch job, and we really only need two things. We need a way to put down and distribute the tack coat, the primer over the area, and then we need a way to spread out the alligator patch material itself. So what we got is just a hand-operated utility brush, and we can use that to really work the tack coat and the primer into the crevices. If you happen to have one with a handle, then that allows you to stand up more to do the same job. It creates the same idea, and that's to really get the tack coat down into the crevices that you're trying to repair. And once you begin putting on the patch material itself, we've got a 24-inch squeegee over here, and it's rubber, and it'll leave a really nice smooth finished surface on the alligator patch when you're finished. A lot of people don't care for that smooth finish, so what we have is a brush coater brush. And what happens here is you drag this over the final product, and leaves you a nice surface that matches your existing and surrounding areas.
So the brush coater brush, where are they going to get one of those?
We can order one of these, Brad, off of the website, asphaltsealcoatingdirect.com. In fact, we can get most of these tools from the same website.
And that brush coater now is going to leave more of a rougher surface, maybe help the traction a little bit.
It's going to help the traction tremendously, and it'll leave a nice dull surface, which is really eye-appealing when you're finished.
And all these tools are reusable just by washing them with water?
They're all reusable. Yes, just garden hose and plain water, just as soon as you can once the work is finished.
Hey Curtis, I see you've worked quite a little bit on this and you got it cleaned up. And we know it's important to clean them out as deep as we can, right?
That's correct, right.
And what's going to happen if it isn't properly cleaned? What can we expect?
If we don't get it as clean as like what we see here, Brad, what's going to happen is you're going to put your primer on there and your tack coat, and it's not going to soak through the dirt. The debris is going to stop the sealing effect that's going to happen with dirty cracks.
Okay, so if they get a chunk of asphalt way down deep in the crack, is it safe to say that it's going to be okay? I mean, if they just can't get everything out.
Yeah, it don't have to be like you're going to eat off of it, but if there's one little piece here and there, that's not too big of a deal. That's nothing to worry about.
All right. So I guess the next thing is, why tack? Why is it important to apply tack coat before they apply the alligator patch?
The tack coat itself will seal each of the little islands together as you seal here as it runs down in the crevices, and you want that to sink in as thick, as deep as you can. That the asphalt is probably 2 inches thick, and we would like for that tack coat to reach the bottom of that crack.
Okay.
At the same time, it prepares the surface for the bonding that needs to take place when we put the alligator patch over the area.
The products that we're going to need today. What are we going to be using, and in what? Which product's going to come first? Which is going to come second? How are we going to apply these?
Okay, well, the first thing we're going to talk about is we've referenced the tack coat product, or we've called it a primer, and that's what this is here in the 1 gallon bucket, Brad. We can use this stuff straight out of the jug as is. To mix it, all we got to do is just invert it a few times and make sure there's no solids.
It's available in 1 gallon jugs, 5 gallon jugs. Is it anything else available in that size?
Yes, it's available in a 55 gallon drum and a 275 gallon tote.
Okay, so for larger jobs they could order of course larger containers.
Sure can.
Okay, and this is the actual patch material here?
Yes, this is the alligator patch material itself, and it's ready to use right out of the bucket. Just mix it up and apply.
And is it available in larger containers?
Not at this time. It's not.
So 5 gallons is what it comes. Okay.
It comes in 5 gallon buckets.
Okay, I see some tools here. What are we planning to do here?
What we're planning to do here is, if we were to mix the tack coat 1-to-1, and I wouldn't recommend any different of a dilution rate than that for alligator patch. So you might put a gallon of this in a 5 gallon bucket and an equal amount of water. You would use this little drill attachment to just mix that up like you might any paint.
So that's just a paint stir is all that is?
It's all just a plain old paint stir. You can get one from us, or you can get one from the local hardware store. You may have one in your garage already.
Okay, so they can use that to mix up the patch, and if they were resealing, they could use that too.
That's right, so it's reusable. Just clean it up and use it next time. The alligator patch itself, more than likely when you open the bucket, there will be some liquid on top, and you put the drill mixer in there and just gently mix it up and down and back and forth until it's a uniform mixture. We got a 1 gallon jug here, which we could dilute 1-to-1 with water if we wanted to, but we're going to use it straight out of the jug because we just got a small patch here to do today.
So they could use a large squeegee if they had a large area.
And they could use a large squeegee. Today we're just going to use a small brush. That'll suffice just fine. A brush coater works real well for the same application if you had a 10 by 10 area. Start over here a little bit. And we can be a little bit liberal. It's not going to hurt anything. We're going to smear it out with the brush here in just a second. We'll see how far that gets us.
And you're brushing that in, I see, really well with that brush.
We're just going to work it into those crevices the best we can.
So probably they need to be wearing old shoes and old clothes, right?
Old shoes, old clothes. If you spill some on you, you can clean it up right away with just plain water. If it starts to dry, you can use a little bit of WD-40, some soap.
And once it's dry, it's dry?
Once it's dry, it's dry.
It ain't coming off, okay.
It's not coming off. Not today, anyhow.
So just regular water cleanup until it's dry.
Just regular water cleanup until it's dry. See a little bit of air bubbles coming up out of it, which means we're soaking in just like we want.
So Kurt, I have a question. All right, so let's see you'd mentioned oxidization a while ago. So if they're putting this on an area where they're having a hard time getting it to stick, is that what you consider oxidized asphalt?
That's what we consider oxidized asphalt. It generally looks white in appearance, and it's really just a fine layer of UV damaged surface skin. The asphalt tack soaks into that and it gives you a good bondable surface.
So in that kind of a situation, they're better off maybe putting 2 coats on, letting 1 coat dry and then going back with the 2nd coat.
You could put a very light coat on and then come back with your actual primer coat.
Okay.
We can see a few bubbles kind of coming up. Some of that is the tack coat sinking in there. You see how it's turning black over here on the edge already?
I was going to ask you if this is the
dry
color.
already.
So it'll dry black.
So it'll dry black and it dries fairly quick. This is extremely wet, but that's all there is to it.
So while that patch is drying, we're going to start getting our alligator patch here ready. What do we...
Well, we've got a bucket of patch here, and it's still sealed, and what's common to find is when we open this up, and this one's not, is there's going to be some liquid on top, and that's absolutely standard. It's a water-based product, so you're going to find that. But it mixes back up very easily. We've got a drill there with a little paint mixer on the end of it, a utility mixer. And we'll just mix it back up. It just takes a moment. You might note that I'm going to run the direction of this drill bit so it pulls the material downward, because I don't want to splash it back up at me. So just up and down.
Kurt, I see you're done mixing it now, and it looks like it's still pretty thick. Is that about normal?
That's normal, and that's the consistency you're looking for. All the water is gone, and it's uniform from top to bottom. And I left those peaks on there so you could see how it's a stiff material.
And how long, now that they've mixed it, how long should it be before they have to remix it before they apply it?
Oh, next week.
So they won't have to mix it for a week?
No, it should be good to go now for many days.
All right, so that brings up another question. When they get their product and they're not planning on installing it or applying it for, say, 2 or 3 weeks, should they mix it when they get it, or should they leave it sit?
After 2 or 3 weeks, yes. You should probably mix it when you remove the lid and you see some liquid on top. Then by all means, go ahead and mix it up a little bit to get that all blended back in.
Okay, that looks pretty thick, like it'll stick to a putty knife or something. That's probably about normal.
That's about normal.
So we're ready to apply this patch, or the alligator patch, to our primed shelf life on this product from the day they get it.
For the most part, Brad, it's good for about a year. There shouldn't be any issues. The longer it sets, the more the solids will fall out to the bottom, and simply mix it before using it.
All right, so I guess we're ready for application.
The tack is ready, and we're just going to dump a little bit out, and we'll start to smear it out. If we need a little more, we can always add it. So today we're just going to use a rubber squeegee. This one happens to be 24 inches in length.
Now, about how thick are you going for on the first coat?
I don't want it any more than 1/4 inch ever. So as long as we're less than 1/4 inch, we're good to go.
But it needs to be definitely worked down into those crevices, right?
Right.
Because that's probably what binds all those chunks together. I see you've changed brushes to a brush coater, and that's for the...
That's going to make the surface more uniform, and it'll make the whole area look less smooth and get rid of some of these bumps. Now you can see there's kind of a low spot there. I'll come back from the other angle here in just a second. Yeah, excuse me.
Courtesy you cleaning tools in between application, it's probably important that they keep this stuff clean, because it dries. Once it dries, it's dry, right?
Once it's dry, it's dry.
So so if somebody is applying a bucket or 2 of this, it's probably a good idea just to have a bucket of water on hand.
That's right.
And a garden hose, probably.
bucket of water, a garden hose, maybe a clean rag or two.
Yep.
And as long as you get it in some water and clean it up right now, the equipment will basically stay like
Okay,
that.
Kurt, it looks like you finished up for this application for today, and we're going to wait until tomorrow to install or to apply one more application, because this was kind of a bird bath area, right?
That's right. This is a bird bath area. You can still see there's a little bit of dish to it, so we're not real concerned with the appearance today. Tomorrow we'll make it look really pretty with the final 1/4 inch layer.
How would a person know for sure that the product is dry?
Brad, usually you could just, if you wait 48 hours, the product is dry. That'll be the given time in the instructions to seal coat after that time frame.
And that's with no rain, of course.
That's with no rain and yeah, a little bit of sunshine.
Okay, so we're going to put another coat on tomorrow, and then the next stop is going to be sealing, right?
That's right.
And why is it so important to reseal this with the Big A emulsion-based asphalt sealer?
Well, the emulsion sealer is obviously going to seal the patch area that we just repaired, and we're going to do the entire parking lot and have a nice uniform appearance overall, which will give us, you know, hopefully if we take care of asphalt, we can make it last an additional 10 or 15 years, and seal coating is one of those methods.
You know, Kurt, I get a lot of customers that ask me, can I go to the big box store and can I buy the crack filler there, and can I buy the sealer there? You know, because sometimes those products are less money, but they have a hard time finding good quality alligator patch. What is your best recommendation, you know, for products to an all-in-one turnkey solution?
The all-in-one turnkey solution is to get online and go to asphaltsealcoatingdirect.com.
And just use those. These products are really designed to go hand in hand together, aren't they?
These products are all designed to go hand in hand, and yes, the big box stores do carry all these products, and you're right, the quality's just not there, so the customer never gets what he was hoping to get.
So this way, the customer's getting a professional grade product. They can put it on themselves. It's easy. Just common tools can do it, and they're going to get good results.
That's correct.
All right.